All right, at the end of 90 minutes, Kumase Asante Kotoko, Ewuremu, Ewo, the Accra Sports Stadium, Aqua had to folk Ashe has by 1-0. Goal scored by Morphine Donzu. It was a penalty, and a Morphine Donzu, a penalty, no, and the Etoatinum. Emma Kumasi Asante Kotoko enya a 1-0 win over Had to Folk match day 9. Asante Kotoko at the moment is the only club that is unbeaten in the Ghana Premier League. 6 matches Asante Kotoko is unbeaten. Asante Kotoko 3 away games against Brekum Chelsea, Nations FC is yet to concede a goal. Kotoko share Brekum Chelsea 1-0. Asante Kotoko ni Nations but 0-0. And then Kumasi Asante Kotoko etime wuremu akwa share Had to Folk by 1-0. Baby awobia yamo akwaba ereba inside Kotoko. This is your most authoritative Kumasi Asante Kotoko dedicated a channel. When your official Asante Kotoko YouTube channel, but it's the official Asante Kotoko supporters, most adored and as most loved and bro for the Kremba channel on YouTube. But in the over champion with my friends, so but many confidence. Franka Bebu and AD Jumano Nene, you have digested and Nioma a boss Asante Kotoko. Emma Itimichi Had to Folk. It Had to Folk by 1-0. I say Ghana Premier League, Kotoko 6 matches, Wabo draw 2, and we winning 4. And the road for Coach Karim Zito to redeem himself is in progress. And Yababe the DK Osei Motors. DK Osei Motors. Hey baby, upe adiani ebe kan say ka papapato. DK Osei Motors na benyano. DK wo incline. Greater Accra, English Yaman from on a DK Osei Motors war. Woman washing bay on any opposite. Malam Kaswa High Road on a DK Osei Motors war. Okuta dending our Boama Chanui, it's me tumpon, a free adumu, and the call adum. Now, this is it. First point. And the coach Karim Zito, Estatia Brantia, your friend Mohamed Kamara in post. Right back, Lord Amwa. Left back, Patrick Essiedu. Back 4, center back, no. Na Samba O'Neill. Onini nia Abrantia, your friend Henry ANSU. Ninyina say Joseph Ablo suspended. Last week na Samba na suspended. This week Joseph. Inti ANSU back-to-back matches. Asante Kotoko. Right in front of them was Lord Hilary Adabo, supported by Kwajuset and Hubert Jau. Attack was Saka Dauda, Peter Aqua, and Morphine Donzu. Kwame Poku was not even on the bench. Senior de Bremono. Had to focus where into Asante Kotoko Badian 4-3-3. 1 defensive midfielder, 2 attacking midfielder, and now 8 box to box. Box to box. In Kwajuset, any Abrante Fen Hubert Joe. 4-3-3 system. Coach Karim Zito. Had to folk. Coach Didi Dramani Benjamin Asare. Coach Didi Dramani ball 5 back. Has a attacker, a 3 back. Has a defender, a 5 back. Young Amankwa Befi as a right wing back, left wing back. A Ransford Mensah on the board. The last time. Back 3. Chirono. Now Benya Baba Demu Ali Mohammed. Company no. Any Calvin Osei Esibe. Ewe Chiriho. In front of them, Rafal and Ponsan Hussein Mohammed George Paku as 3 in the middle. Inti neye 5-3-2. 2 no. Rubenya Ernest. Ano lead the attack no. Frank rather. Frank ano lead the attack no has. Oni Abrante Fen Hussein. Mohammed. This was Had to Folk. Almost starting 11. So it was a 5-3-2 system up against a 4-3-3 system. And Asante Kotoko Ediko game. They say Had to Folk coach. I finished Didi Draman, and his plan was to use the wings to attack club FN Kumasi Asante Kotoko with Yawa Mankwabefi and Ransford Mensah, giving them the freedom. So I'm coming. No more coming. Cranaboni, but Tomachi has for 3 players at the back to neutralize things. Point number 1. Asante Kotoko won the game in the midfield. Over some period, Selbert, I've been consistent on Asante Kotoko midfield, no? Where I've been making complaints is they seem not to have their rhythm. They seem not to have the flow. They seem not to dictate the game the way no. And I've talked about the Kotoko midfield over and over and over again. But in the last 2 games, that is Karela and Had to Folk, Kumasi Asante Kotoko midfield no has been nothing but awesome. Kotoko and Karela, Owena Kwejo said scoring, Hubert Jau scoring 2 goals for Kotoko. That means they were involved in Adiana. Your friend, and had 3 goals for Asante Kotoko. In today's game, Rafael Amponsa Hussein Mohamed George Paku, Asante Kotoko midfield no, a dictative play no. Asante Kotoko midfielders were comfortable, they were okay, and they were playing their normal game, protecting the Kotoko defense, making sure Had to Folk were dominating the ball, making sure that Had to Folk were passing, but at the end of the goal threat, so Obi pass it, so Obi ball, but or enough goal threat to attack your defenders and eventually score a goal against your striker. No? Asante Kotoko midfield making sure they protected them, the defense, and they were doing the right things, closing the space, showing the defense, and the total understanding in the Asante Kotoko midfield in almost first 60 minutes was awesome. The Asante Kotoko midfield my energy because at the end of any timely passing, knowing when to release the ball to the attackers, they were doing it. It's Asante Kotoko midfield making sure the few balls among Sabekano, they were pushing the Had to Folk defenders and helping the attackers to create chances. Internet, ball near Shen, Obiabedi Adams, yes, sir. Had to Folk drew baby no more ball no. Never Asante Kotoko phoninya ball no more. Fise Asante Kotoko midfielders no were matured. They detected the place where they were decent with their distribution. Yifrim komonum na si amba Asante Kotoko midfielders ne abaswa ya ebone. Point number 2. Kumasi Asante Kotoko midfielders no. Yebo mabaso no. Yebo Asante Kotoko defenders na baso. I mean, to keep a clean sheet in all 3 away games is not an easy job. So be make sure say ball no baako miensa ababo away. My ball enter net enye adwuma ketewa. That Asante Kotoko team one or the other seems to be living up to their promise. Asante Kotoko defenders any players see the to yenim say WAC of Morocco at your mashomo. The CAF Confederations Cup last stage. They strongly believe in their potential. Say you WAC of Morocco see ho. Near the WAC see for when they come back to the Ghana Premier League, they are going to repay Asante Kotoko supporters by putting up splendid performance in such a way. See, Asante Kotoko supporters ever saying another chance to win a major cup, which is the CAF, the Ghana Premier League, and go back and watch Kotoko Aobo in the CAF Champions League. I'm making sure matches they are going to put up a splendid performance in such a way Asante Kotoko fans would forgive the players for whatever happened when they played in the CAF Champions League. 2 matches, Karela and Had to Folk Ometime deliver results at Asante Kotoko. I was impressed with them. Especially, I'll come and talk about the substitutions of Coach Karim Zito. A coach, a fast so yen and Sasaye, Emma game na Asante Kotoko Timi Kuremuma born a berry, maybe can want some. But one or the other, as I say, a ball map as free, almost say a ball. Now, Pampa, Bosseno, Woma Diswan, Kakra, Woma State Paper, Asante Kotoko Chita for Nisu, and that is good. We cannot talk about today's game and forget about a player like Peter Aqua. Peter Aqua has been a thorn in the flesh of the House of Folk team. Peter Aqua ni no and then was in his element. At least the last time I was telling you, whoever will mark the heart to folk right side, at the end of the day, Peter Aqua will win the battle. Me catch us say Peter will win the battle against Yamankwa Befi. Me who is a Saka. Apart from the work rate, ni betimi exploit Ransford Mensa. Me who. But mo say Peter Bemo be obejira right will be aso ayehye. And I'm going to say Sibe will win the battle over Donzu. I've seen a lot of comments on social media about Donzu where people are criticizing Donzu in terms of the kind of players ASANTE KOTOKO, Ephraim and Onede to come and lead the attack. We'll talk about that later. But Yambo Abranche Fen Peter Aqua Abaso. Mekachila said to stop Peter Aqua, you always need two players. Se Peter Katina, the first player facing, and the one the favorite foot now Peter Katin or Babejina. And whenever you do that, you are giving the ASANTE KOTOKO midfielders a free day. When the game started, Hato Folk had that plan. Say they were trying to stop Peter with two players, but no boy ASANTE KOTOKO 23 back there say Peter Betchino. Na either Kelvin or says be Jiranin chain, and Ali Mohammed Jiranin chain or Betchino. Na Babe Yawaman Kwabefi any Kelvin or says be. But interestingly, you cannot do that for the entire minutes of the game. And Peter is a player. Let's not forget that this is his third season. O free division 1 by no. Obi o kai kotkone Karela Baba Sports Stadium. Na kotkona form 1-0. Peter no yimilo. The confidence our boy in the bono. Any akukudure shebo anymore. And young kwalade. We can talk about his final delivery, his final product, but he has the confidence and the temperament for big games like this. So Drew matches a say na Peter ba ombo hu no nsuro into etimi call all out etimi be deliver ma. And I know and then he was a weapon of mass destruction or making sure say or be tormenting the right side and sometimes or cut the left side of the ASANTE KOTOKO attack. In as much as he might have his own issues, I think this boy is special. This boy is a gift to ASANTE KOTOKO. And then or prove once again, say he is somebody we can trust whenever we are having discussions about ASANTE KOTOKO and these big matches. Peter was solid, Peter was special, and he deserved the applause. Our modern boy and the opportunity up. Now, Yabo players, maybe I'll come and talk about Donzu. Once a lot of people are on Donzu's neck, a lot of controversies on the social media, but referee Reginald Collins Samoa. I think as football having fans, I've learned a lot from Akurugu incident nearby. Going to game with premeditated opinion, especially when it comes from big men within the club. It's been the same baby, but the reaction of the supporters need different towards the manager. The supporters come in with a different reaction altogether, based on in someone before the game. And as a matter of fact, these things one or the other played a factor in the psyche of the players. Emrantena Jini omede call ball no in sama wodua na akoso abonten na efa eye referee no no enya nsumsuanso wo players na dwene the psyche of the players, because you realize that in the game the hard to folk players already had a preconceived mentality that this referee has something against them. Adwinipobi bo mutrim as a referee no bi tia omo na referee ni omo side na referee ni nyaaya enkomedi nkugo. Two major decisions, the offside and the other decision being the penalty. These two things had something to do with the game. But so best the final or the petty minor decisions are now referee jinyana na enya insunsuye bi na enya adwimpo bi e wa to full players net. So how they react towards the referee was from an aggressive point. The first issue is the Mauli Wayo a bicycle kick, overhead kick. That was an offside. So when you have a boni, then you have the advantage of videos I have about Bontin during the game and even after the game, the short ones now. The question you ask yourself is, was the referee against us or that was a good decision? So I was steady, yeah. When the cross came in, a call the right side, the cross from the left side, a call the right side. When the header was coming in for Mauli Wayo to come and control and eventually hit the bicycle kick or the overhead kick, the line had already lifted his flag. One lifted the flag against the player, not head it. But Mauli Wayo at that moment, watching all videos, it was clear, say, now a bar beto offside trap. No. Miss Widen, waba beto offside trap. No. In so share, once the goal and our ball entered the net, Mauli Wayo, time are not celebrating. No. The ASANTE KOTOKO players, especially Kamara. I want you to focus on Kamara. Now Kamara, I want attention or referee also flying also that they did not even rush because he had already seen the ball was an offside. Inti, there see after the game where some of the players felt that this referee have cheated them, decided to even attack the referee to the extent that the coach of Hard to Folk had to come in and pull some of the players away. Hard to Folk players from maybe Ametino were playing home, but they were at the edge of their seat. Don't comfortable with the referee because of the comments, because of previous comments. And that was never good for Hard to Folk. Now, the major decision offside, we all have to go back and even apologize to the referee. As I see a call referee walk up on the show because Mauli Wayo was too eager to score. And what we will say, Kotoko players need to born here, not them into a no sabanechi. And obey Jina Kotoko players. And so if you watch it from the time he was kicking the ball, you will feel it was never an offside. But offside, yeah, judge feeling at the time born neighbor baby I want. And Ujina. So Mauli Wayo moved forward. And when he was moving forward, he now moved to come inside Obejina ASANTE KOTOKO players name. Enjoy your time or kick a ball, Jina KOTOKO players name, which that point is not outside. But a time your head a ball, and you baby a ball cross nearby you. Time your head a ball and it was clear. And two things a line already peja and a flag. I may have issues with Ghanaian referees. But I think, sir, if a referee get a chance to officiate Ghana, Kotoko has the match over and over and over again, like I said, I will struggle to believe, say, he will intentionally come in and disgrace his of course, and then the number of eyeballs and the ball which was bigger than any Ghana Premier League match. You might think I'm defending the referee. No, the videos are there. Now the penalty. This penalty incident is a bit similar to Fabio Gama, This penalty incident is a bit similar to last week, the GTA Kotoko against Karela. We are getting to a stage once there is contact, you give the referee the power to take a decision against you. Adebaku is here. So when my contact bemwa, now my referee need chance so be take a decision at you. The first thing is that was Peter Aqua in the penalty box. Not Peter or box no and answer only box room. And the answer is yes, Peter Aqua was in the penalty box. Now, Peter Aqua penalty box, was there a touch or not? Was there contact? And I said contact in your. And once again, there was contact. And the referee after the contact, already decided that this contact is not enough. The player one or the other. Contact nearby and I man the top from no. Or no, the Nahodi baby they can't talk from. Any other friend a dive. And even in dive, there is contact. But say obi pursue call left. Now for so to righter. Ya jitum said there is contact. Baby dive because one kasa de wope edwa ho de akọ baby a. Wa ho de ne brood nipa no aho de the kan ho lead to your fall. That is what you consider dive. So there are contacts, but the referee will still give you a yellow card for diving because referee share no. Whoa, for the be ka ho. Abwa da. A referee decision, the discretion. That is why every time we try to advise players, obi rap penalty box man, making sure say every attempt I will be making towards the person should be one that you be considered as clean. In a so very born the Afran into share work. We were making complaints about the third penalty, but the explanation was say Aziz that who can get to be an as a branch and crown a force here. Am I assist one can and one can inquire the ageti. And psychologically, the House of Folk players were not in the best of place, heading towards the game. And nominee referee could in a pono and in some outdoor no matter and 4 men jina baby and the DD or mutrim and it is idea. We will allow the match review panel to observe this and tell us what the verdict is, because normally I'm a say a punishing referee making a class, a referee to take a decision. Say, yeah, no, I am from Swa, yam brabon beka, then send the horse and what be a you referee na ko baby, or being cojinasun cast a referee on Pamasem. To me, Colin Samoa seems to be a green referee, but based on these two major decisions there, it will be very difficult for me to say anything bad about Collins Reginald Amoa. And Salam in common in our baby. The conversation about Morphine Donzu. Me can radio so me can ye show say me who say Donzu be in a battle against the Heart of Folk defenders. The first point, the taste of the Asante Kotoko fan. Adia ato Asante Kotoko titani enum, and then the first point. Sa Asante Kotoko titani bibian to nenum na ohun bi pen ko be fan normal. But Asante Kotoko ye timwa enyoma ato yenum ene nyoma ayehu no so. Tiemi pa. We are talking about Kwame Poku. We are talking about Albert Amoa. We are talking about Mbela. Talking about Mukwala, Sonny Yakuba, Abdul Fattah, Safiu. This is recently players Abefa Koto. So when you join such a club, much is expected from you, especially if you're a foreigner. Yemfa no kren cancel. Donzo is still not there. But at dear Mama Nijini said, even when he's still not there, he managed to get a goal for Kotoko, which was a penalty. And a penalty never told now Donzo con. Nami yem shishimano. Because the American said he is forcing to at least get a goal. Which means that Nenia Bre Pequem be also bit me a goal. Now we say go has so GDS go on a bar. Every man a ball number. So this penalty was a perfect opportunity for Morifin Donzo to get a goal. But the big question was, if he had missed the penalty, the confidence, but he scored the penalty. Therefore, I'm expecting Asante Kotoko fans to say, we should rather focus on the positives. This could be the beginning of Donzo's greatness. He didn't get a good game. This is the biggest festa for Asante Kotoko. Those who buy and wabeto kwampuku wabeto wabetamoa. And about CAF Champions League. CAF Confederations Cup. Confederations Cup. Or buy and only anyone because sometimes you need to pair with Albertamoa. The last time I was telling you, say identity, positional identity about the issue. But say a class on the attack. Let's not forget that last week he did not get a goal, but he got an assist for Peter Aqua. Say Peter Aqua go on a tonche on the passive bonus sama Peter. Crosser could you set pin bone share. So his involvement in play ASANTE Kotoko match or the judge player by mistake. Yes, your exceptional players at first day ASANTE Kotoko or best say a typical example of Sambo now winning the man of the match in its first House of Folk game, the President Cup ASANTE Kotoko. No, the Democracy Cup ASANTE Kotoko say on first match. But in your behind it, you will slow status for her. So I think that as an Asante Kotoko fan, said during the match, and now but negative commentary about those who remain the main striker. Coach Karim Zito clearly has a lot of plans for a player like Jordan Amisa. And you say no, didn't buy a game, no. But that is what you have. So let's look at other matches because against Calvin Osesibe, against Ali Mohammed, against Obi say Baba Demwa. These are top defenders in the league. Being coached by Didi Dramani, they will sit down, have video sessions of your few matches to know how you operate and find ways of stopping you. And when your penalty now was nurse wa GDN, share him say a turning point. So I'm still going to give Donzo time. Because this match in here, if you remember Mukwala, though Mukwala ball nankasabo control, pass, dribble, na e wasoro, na ni nyina wasoro chen Donzo. So Mukwala go check akra nsa na eba de. But not the general plane was through chen Donzo. But what if this is going to turn things around for Donzo? Die nya bo trema morphine Donzo. Die hesen ye nyoma be call Ediamano in subsequent times. But I strongly believe that he will come good. Because when you're sure say wasa say enye bre and there befa in due course. So glory Asante Kotoko. A player like Saka Dauda mekan wasem later. But training modern bar Saka contribute especially without the ball. But this was a good game for Kotoko and a well-deserving victory. A victory that will calm nerves down. Between Abo Asante Kotoko league. Let's look at other matches. Kotoko next match. A club by a friend a Vision FC. Yeah, has any vision. Kotoko be faso any vision is far bono. Na enyoma koso. Ediama Asante Kotoko. Interesting times ahead. But unbeaten run of Asante Kotoko continues. And Coach Karim Zito Nene Mrante Nabaso for this descent job.